So you have something like that, and then you have that with a private wall, courtyard. Something with that width. For a 3-car garage is almost unheard of here. That one's pretty nice. So what some people do is buy up these kind of derelict properties in an alley and then build something nice. For example, have that. And then this mansion here. Single family home. And there's one going in next to it. Here's one under construction that's an end unit, which is nice because you get more light that way. Exterior marble is always nice. Here's a hidden gem in an alleyway. All these homes that I show you with the walled courtyards are all over $1 million US. And one key thing that puts your list price over $1 million is whether or not you have an elevator. That's a big deal. In fact, I know a guy whose brother owns an elevator installation business. He's doing pretty good business. There's a lot of rich people in Taiwan. There's the guard room of a gated community in there. Those townhomes up there, probably close to, but not over $1 million US. They used to have a Gothic look when they were building them, and then they kind of changed the front. Interesting, because the front door, you have to go up to it. So I'm assuming these all have basements which are like half above ground, which affords you the benefit of having some light into the basement. In the real old homes, 1950s, like every 10th house or 5th house used to have a basement. That was a government requirement for a bomb shelter. I've heard of people buying houses and just filling up the basement and not using it, like just, filling it with rocks. Basements are tough to deal with here. It's so humid, and in some places there's, flooding issues. Unless it's really well ventilated or, partially above ground with some light, basements are not usually a thing here. Unless you have a big building like that, of course, there's going to be basement parking. Even though it's probably incredibly bad feng shui to put a house right here between these two roads, they'll still do it. Because every amount of space is taken up. Here's some new construction. So there's 2 waves in the building process. Or I should say phases. And the first phase is that you build it to legal proportions, which leaves a percentage of open land in the back or in the front. And once that passes, people will then put an addition on that part that was supposed to be open. Something on top of the structure as well. It's obviously the same builder, but I guess the builder did not provide garage doors because every single garage door is different. So this is the inside of our gated community. There's a couple of rows here. So on weekends you have little kids riding their bicycles up and down here and playing badminton, what have you. There's a guard area right there, and right through the guard area there's recycling. There's stairs that go in here. There's an activity room with a ping pong table. This is where I do my warm-up and cool down. I can get about 1/3 of a mile just jogging on these paths here inside the community. I think there's like 60 houses, and some of them are double wides, like this one. Out there, was all open land. It used to be where I could put my yard waste, but now it's all blocked off. So we have raised beds in the back, and most people keep it pretty nice with lots of trees and flowers, a little bit of Korean grass, a little bit of room between houses here, which does afford me enough sunlight somehow to grow pineapples. I've done it 3 years in a row. So I got one there and one here. The only thing I have to make sure of, because I don't want any of the spines to come out into the walkway here. So poor plant has to get cut in line with the wall. We are lucky enough to have a front unit which faces the road. We never go in through our front door. We always go in through the basement. Receiving guests, we will do that off the road here. And luckily there's a little bit of extra parking along the side here if you have visitors. So we drive in off the road and then we go down into this underground parking area. Just beyond that big building is a school. It's an elementary and junior high combined, and it has a sidewalk all the way around it. And these communities back in here are pretty quiet, so it's a nice place for my wife and I to take our night walks. We have a breakfast store, and around the turn, half a kilometer, is a 7-Eleven, so quite convenient. Just under the bridge and to the right, there's a nice big park. Gas, and there's coffee, and there's gas. I just think it's funny. That's 一打哨. Looks like somebody customized their own camper here, and they found a parking spot under this bridge. Turbo Porter. Johnson really likes to put Johnson on this wall. Got all varieties here. Changhua's lonely, oh boy. Changhua lonely graffiti artist. Oh, I like this better than the trucks that drive around during elections. Oh, this one has a speaker too. Darn. I haven't seen that billiards hall open in 20 years. That's why I have my own pool table. That's the basketball arena. I guess they're doing some work on the roof. And that's what I was doing about 45 minutes ago. There's the Dreamers. This is where they practice and play. This is clear, but it's not 100%. So we can see the windmills. That would be the coastline on that side. This is the Sanchinkong.
View of Dadu Mountain.
Dadu's right there.
Or some people like to call it the Great Wall.
Oh, because it's a plateau. We both ran that in a race. And then we have, what is that? Huoyan, is that right? Huoyanshan, the fire mountain, flame mountain.
Which we've hiked with James.
Yep.
Right?
And what would be over there? Do you think that's like Dakhan and stuff?
I think Dakhan is more over on this side.
Kind of obscured by the trees. But you can see Taichung, all the buildings.
I think you can see Xingshi. Have you been to Xingshi? Where the castle is?
I
went
did. I made a video too. Yeah.
Oh, it's up here.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
You just got back from a epic journey with your wife, Trooper Wu.
Epic. It was a 1-week trip to the north of Taiwan. We visited Hsinchu, Yilan, and Shanxia. Shanxia is an area, I think, east of Taipei.
Yeah, and you did hikes in several locations.
In Hsinchu, we did Beidalaman, which is a short hike, maybe about 5K, 6K round trip.
Yeah.
But you go straight up a mountain And when you reach the top, you will see a lot of old trees, really old, ancient trees, huge. In Sanxia, we went to Manyue, Manyue Gongyuan, which is, translates into Full Moon National Park. And it's reputed to be the best place in Taiwan for negative ions.
If you can send me some pictures, I will embed them.
Sure, I can send you some. Yeah.
Cool. What marathon was that? Your shirt.
Okay, this was a marathon that I ran in Miaoli, and the name is here. Not very far from the strawberry marathon that we did in February. I did this one 15 days later.
Yeah.
And it was an out and back, so we had to run 6K up a mountain and then back down 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had to do another half of a lap.
Huh.
Because 3. So 6 up and 6 back is 12. So 3 times 12 is 36 kilometers.
Wow. And so maybe it was pushed because that says 2021.
2021, yeah. So this was at the end of February, beginning of March, 2022.
2022.
Maybe it was originally scheduled in the fall.
Yeah, and then they pushed it.
And then they just postponed
because of COVID.
Yeah, which happened to a lot of races, including the Bigfoot in Zhoushan that you can't attend.
Yeah. And you're going to get my race pack.
I hope so.
You're going to be me again.
I hope so. That sounds like a nice race, and I really appreciate your...
No worries, man. Otherwise, it would go to waste. I paid for it, so...
Yeah.
I was running along the outside of the stadium. I come around a corner, and you ever hear the expression, let sleeping dogs lay? The one that's all the way on the right now jumped up and started barking at me. Scared the crap out of me. I'm really proud of this section of our house. This nice little chandelier. Because when we bought the house, the front door was actually here. So in other words, all my neighbors come up from the basement and they're outside still. This is like an outside porch. And then they have to enter another door to come inside. And we just thought that was ridiculous. So we had the door moved back. Incidentally, this looks wood, but it is a solid metal door, maybe a hollow metal door with wood paneling glued to it. We have a huge window, and as we go down the basement, and another huge window here. So we're getting light into the house, but our car is down in that messy basement. So my front door is actually out there, and then you have like this walled in area with our tree. And the other front door is here. I'm also quite proud of this section with our TV on it. The TV can move this way or that way, and these cabinets open. Again, 2-ply, so we have wood and marble. This is marble, not wood. Super heavy. Look how many hinges you need. We picked this massive slab out of a huge warehouse, not too far away from us. I don't know if it's imported. A lot of marble comes from Hualien on the other side of the island. There's the PS5. There's matching pieces on this side in our living room. I'm gonna keep it high so as not to show the clutter. But our kitchen is over there. My wife had a great idea originally the kitchen came all the way over to our living room, but she said, you know, we need some kind of a separator here because this is all one space. We got some cool hidden cabinets. In Taiwan, you can't completely close your sink, otherwise you're gonna have mold in there. So we actually have it's kind of like screened in. I have to probably touch this up with one of those wood markers. This glass is kind of a feng shui thing. You're not supposed to have a sink facing, I don't know, a living quarter, I guess. Although our kitchen sink is facing a living quarters. So the only thing I don't like about that design is if I want to use the bathroom, I have to come over here to turn a light on and go around this. You can see the second floor in the video here about our massage chair. I'm not going to show you everything. Our third floor bathroom is pretty massive. Huge shower area. When we first got this house, all these tiles, this kind of metallic tile, they all had stickers on them. Like each individual one had a sticker on that had to be pulled off. It was kind of hard to do because we got the house 3 years after it was built. It was just sitting here, just a concrete shell. The bathrooms were done though. And it took me months to take off all the stickers going all the way around. Every time I was in here, I would just kind of pull off a couple. And then the third floor, you can see here in the COVID video, that's where I stayed for my quarantine. I should do another video introducing some of the equipment in here. Just did my teeter again after a long time.